As a social enterprise, Crayons to Computers has made a transformational change in Greater Cincinnati. Our secret is that we adhere to our mission, important, no mission creep. And we distribute free school supplies today to students needing them the most. And 95,000 children have benefited since 1997 from $70 million worth of product that we've been able to put into their hands. The social impact is that everyone is a winner. The students on free lunch receive the supplies they need. Classrooms are better equipped. Teachers save money and feel valued. Businesses and individuals are relieved that their stuff doesn't go to a landfill. And hundreds of volunteers enjoy sorting product and stocking our shelves. As an added bonus, the inmates in federal prisons gain self-esteem while being productive and helping education. This Crafts with Conviction program, note the pun, Crafts with Conviction, is the ultimate social enterprise. We are making a big difference in 21 prisons in southern Ohio, and in some ways changed how society views inmates. The partnership began 12 years ago when the prison system actually approached us and said, is there anything you can do that keeps the prisoners busy? Wardens testify that facilities are a lot easier to manage because the inmates stay busy. Thousands of prisoners feel valued and appreciated when they're thanked by the students and teachers. Over $16 million worth of educational tools have been produced in prisons since 1998, and that is measurable impact. This is a win-win situation for those beyond the prison system and disadvantaged communities. Donors win because they have the confidence and trust in our work. Individuals, foundations, and corporations who invest in our social enterprise feel the satisfaction of a financial return as well as a return on our mission. For example, we're able to raise $50,000 a year for the Crafts with Conviction program and then spend it annually on equipment and supplies, coupled with donated raw materials and free prison labor. We currently can have $2 million on our bottom line worth of supplies for teachers and their students each year. This is a very innovative social return on investment. Dr. Michael Morris asked me to tell you about some mistakes we've made along the way and some lessons learned. Our biggest mistake is our name. I would change it, but it's too late. We've developed a well-defined and strong brand in Cincinnati and have a great reputation. Computers in our name, though, is obsolete, so we no longer accept computer donations. Day one we did, and it was great, and we were able to distribute thousands of them, but it became so unwieldy, the volume and the logistics. And so we had to defer that to another nonprofit who collects the computer donations and distributes the equipment to schools and classrooms. Another mistake I made is that I would require every teacher to volunteer once before shopping, but again, that's too late. And it was that build the field where they come, day one, and I didn't want to put a price tag of volunteer time on that. I just wanted free is free and not mess with that. The greatest lesson I have learned is that if you have a vision and the confidence and determination to make a good idea happen, anything is possible. I would never have dreamt of standing here before you today. This is a good idea that works, it's doable, and should happen. Energy and enthusiasm are both contagious, and attracting the right people for a good cause can result in an enterprise that's transformational change for a community. We have been the inspiration for 41 other teacher-free stores around the country, and I hope that one of you or more in this audience steps forward and is so inspired by this story that you will help us add another one to our national network. Thank you all so much. Anybody have any questions? Sorry about that. So eager to be finished. Yes. Is the video available to you? Yes. I brought 2 copies, so you can have one of the 2, and I can send anybody else another copy. Yes. There are no other, the question is, are there other programs in Oklahoma? No. I'm pretty pretty shy on Colorado, Nebraska, Oklahoma, the whole Midwest. Most of it is Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine, Orlando, Atlanta, Los Angeles. You can go on our website, www.crayons2computers.org, and check out the sites. But I would love an excuse to come back to Oklahoma City.
Shannon,
Yes.
Oklahoma City Public Schools Foundation has Teachers Warehouse. If you go to okckids.com, they have an online computer store where the teachers go on, I think it's 3 times a month, and it's all done online. Then we as volunteers go and pack the orders, and on twice a month the teachers come on certain days and pick up the goods. I know to date they've done over $500,000 worth of product. Many of Oklahoma City's major corporations are donating monthly just reams of paper. Other small businesses, when they're going through remodeling, are given all of those file folders, binders. It's working right here in Oklahoma City.
Oh, great, great. I did not know that.
And it started by the Public Schools Foundation. Again, Mary Marks Jenkins, who was a 2007 graduate of Leadership Oklahoma City, was really the lady behind it all. But
see, I should have done my homework. I'm sorry.
Well, yours is a retail operations. Theirs is online.
Well, our board talked about that, and we really feel like the retail experience is crucial because a lot of times we'll get junk in, and how do you advertise online 30,000 telephone cords or 2 truckloads of bakery toppings or, got 1,000 jock straps one time. I mean, gym teachers love all that, but it's the shopping experience, and hopefully from our video you could tell our places like Odd Lots or Big Lots, the teachers love to come in and kind of see what's new. And unlike stocking a Staples or Kroger store, the ketchup doesn't always go on the same shelf. I mean, we just have odd stuff. So I laud what you're doing online. I think it's great, but I challenge you to do the retail part because it's such fun, not only for your volunteers. You can attract a ton of volunteers who'll say, gosh, what's new? Or volunteer teachers who want to come in and stock the shelves because they get first dibs on everything. But congratulations on what you're doing, and I would love to help you take it to the next level. Yes?
First, I would like to say thank you very much. I can't help from crying, but my daughter teaches chemistry in Dallas, and she spends so much money, I think she works for free. But my baby son calls me Oprah, and he said, we don't have money, and I need to quit buying stuff. But I keep telling them, how can a kid learn if he's not equipped? So I shop around for discount paper and pencils, and this is my adopted daughter here. I have so much stuff in my house that my sister called me a hoarder. I say, excuse me? No, I'm not. I have paper stacked up to here, so when Walmart have it for 10 cents. And I go out to schools looking for kids who can't afford supplies, and I give them supplies.
Good for you. God bless you. There should be more of you around. That's wonderful.
My daughter said kids don't come to school with what they need. She's a single parent, and she quit a very well job to go teach school, but that's her gift, a chemistry teacher. She brings pies in. She spends so much money. I still think she works for free. But to each and every one of you women in here, I do mission work. I go out and find women with a need. But this need right here is so great because just because my son have his supplies, the kid sitting next to him don't. He's going to make my kid lose his focus. So I always look for some kid who parents say they can't afford the workbook. Every child in that class needs that workbook. And if your child have one, ask the teacher who don't and help the teacher buy them. Because the teachers are buying them with their own money.
Well, I see I'm preaching to the choir, so I'm sorry about that.
Thank you so very much.
Anybody else have anything? Well, it's very doable, and as I say, companies are so pleased to be able to make donations because they get a tax exemption and their volunteer opportunities for their employees, and it's just, as I say, a win-win for everybody. So hoping we can make one happen here, and I'm happy to come back. Thank you again. Oh, wait a second, one more question.
Hi.
Thank you for what you do. I have to say the image of the gentleman with the sleeve of tattoos sewing the orange puppet was one of the best images I've ever seen in my life. How difficult was it to create the partnership with the DOC, and has that been duplicated in other states? And could we talk with you about best practices to do it here in Oklahoma? Thank you.
Absolutely. Orlando and St. Louis both have adopted Crafts with Conviction. They even took our name, which was trademarked, but they've done a great job with that. The gentleman, it's very easy. I mean, if you get a buy-in from the top, and then the community service coordinators at each of the prisons, if there's a buy-in there, because these fellows and ladies are just sitting around with so much time on their hands. They just really want to be productive. And the whole thank you function, which was sort of my idea early on, because I was from a privileged family and had to dutifully write thank you notes, has been the payoff also for this enterprise. And we hear stories of teachers who say, okay, now it's time to write the guys in jail. Does anybody know anybody in prison? And all 18 hands will go up in a classroom. So that's the population that we're dealing with, and these teachers are so glad to have the kids have a release that somebody might be writing his uncle or aunt or grandmother or something. And then from the other end, as you've seen from the inmates, they're so pleased to have somebody write to them and appreciate what they're doing. The gentleman who was named Dan Johnson happened to murder his wife 20 years ago. And I've had lots of opportunities to go up and thank him in person. And I took his picture day one because I'm a big storyteller with picture collages and whatever. And he couldn't even look at me. He had kind of a stubble face and attitude. And, well, he said in the video he had an attitude early on. But today he's got a real job in jail or prison. He's probably not going to see the light of day, even though I've written him 3 probation letters. His mother's an extremely good friend of ours, and she is very proud that he has a job in jail. Now he's in charge of all sorts of inmates making these chair covers, of which personally he's responsible for $250,000. So day in, day out. And, you know, I would never have met a guy named Dan Johnson, but, you know, he zips his pants just like you do, and he's a child of God, and, you know, God bless him. And I promised his mother that I would not exploit him, and she said, oh, no, no, we're just so grateful that he has something to do. So if you get a buy-in from the prison system, you know, this is the best thing. As I say, it reduces incidents of negative behavior, and it's just a win-win for everybody. Did you want to say something? Okay. Good. Thanks a whole lot.
Thank you so much, Shannon. I know that you all, I think someone said it when they said that the gentleman that was sewing with the tattoos, that's the image that I thought of. And with my profession, I have gone into those places, and it's amazing, and it's wonderful to see that they are given a purpose. And for so many of them, they've lost their purpose, and that's amazing that they can now do something and make a difference in their community. Well, we are going to take a break. We're going to be back in this room at 10:30. And just so you know, the restrooms are on either side of the ballroom across the lobby. So again, we'll be back here at 10:30.